Hey, what's up? I'm Ga. This is Seven Mortal Sins. Welcome. So today I've got a follow-up guide for my beginner's guide for you guys. In this one, I'm going to try to not cover too much I covered in the other guide. If you haven't seen that one yet, go check it out. This one's going to be more of like a tour through the game. I'm going to help you guys kind of navigate some of the menus, which I know can be really confusing. We're going to take a look at like the shop and some of the sub-menus and items, where they go, how to get them, what they're used for, you know, that kind of thing. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay. So system, this is just kind of how you adjust things. If you think Dixie is super annoying, you can turn her off, just like I did. Nothing too important in here. So your menu, this is where you're going to be able to see a lot of your items here. So starting off, we have Holy Blood of Saint. This is very, very important item. It's mostly obtained through Kizuna Karma, as well as the arena. The Grand Coliseum means that you can get it here. Just boom, 200. The refined crystals are used for things like refining your star shards. If you don't like the stats on them, you can re-roll them. Medal of Pride is something you get from arena that you can exchange for in the shop. The Riot of Blood Pass is only for a special arena that isn't always around. Usually it'll be right here, but it's not up yet. Soul Essence is for soul mirrors. These chess pieces and soul gems are for consonants, which is right here. So you need these kind of things for that. All right, let's see. Trainers are pretty obvious. This stuff is material you get from the Riot of Blood arena when you use those passes. You'll see those in the shop in a little bit. These books here are used for EX evolution or super evolution. You can get them by dismantling or doing this EX dissolve here. And they're used for characters who can basically like limit break their Evo. You see right here. Not every character is going to have something like that. But there are a few characters that have it and use those. This blood quartz, essences, all this stuff right here is from blood pacts. These are limited banners. You can only get that kind of stuff while this banner's here. There's not a place to grind that. Let's see, it's going down a little bit more. Back down. Waker Scrolls. Mana crystals you get from unsummoning characters. They can be exchanged in the shop. Fragments you can get in the shop. This is from a daily quest, this evolution gem. The Keys of Torment are for an event that comes around every so often. Usually that's going to be in the campaign under dailies. You see the Vortex of Torment. It's closed right now. Let's see. Oh, and important thing to note, you saw I had 2 sets of keys for the Vortex. That's because they don't carry over. So even though they look the exact same, it's a brand new set of keys every time Vortex comes back around. These summon orb fragments are used for summoning orbs. You'll see those in the shop in a little bit. So this Demon Lord Servant Testament, if you bought the surprise pack from Belfi's like secret shop. I think it's around like rank 30 or so. We're supposed to be getting a permanent Sin and Virtue banner, and that's what these are used for. But that was like months ago that I got these, and they still haven't implemented them like at all. Limbo Legacy you get from the story campaign. They're used for the banner at the very bottom of the summoning sessions. Garden of Mystery is for specific event. Blood Scrolls are for Blood Pact, you know, and these are all the scrolls for your summoning. You know, you got items that relate to specific events, and presents, which are used for increasing cast karma. So, if you didn't know, each cast has a specific item that they like that you can get from doing their Kizuna quest, and you can tell which character likes which item by just tapping on it, and it'll tell you which one goes to which character. They give the same amount of karma points as a popular poster, only to that specific character. Otherwise, they give less points than a popular manga. Alright, so profile. If you didn't know, I see a lot of people with Devotee as their name. That is the default name that you're given at the start of the game. Just tap this over here. Change your name, please. Like, everyone will appreciate it. Login bonus. As we can see, stuff from login. I think I covered CoverGirl in my other thing. Rookie guide. What is this? Interesting. I forgot that this was here. If you're a new player, come check this out. I'm pretty sure I know all the stuff that's in here, but it looks like there's actually some decent information in here. Yeah, definitely give this a check. It looks like it kind of explains a lot of the game mechanics, basic. Yeah, okay. Very interesting. Report is where you go to complain. Make sure to use this often. Complain lots. Because the devs are probably operating under the impression that no news is good news. So anytime you want to vent, go do that. Go tell them if you're happy, if you're unhappy. This is where you redeem codes. It's pretty simple. So now let's jump into the store. The store is one of the most confusing menus to navigate. Just remember that the premium shop is for paid currency. Well, not necessarily just paid currency, but you spend your gems here to get stuff. There's 3 freebies, daily, weekly, monthly. A lot of the stuff is actually available with regular gems, like free-to-play currency. You're probably not going to be picking this stuff up too much. Like, this 2,000 stamina is really good if you're grinding. But other than that, I mean, there's some stuff in here if you want to get it. It's up to you. Just remember, premium shop equals spend gems. The grocery store is kind of a little bit of a cluster. A little bit of everything here. This is where you can spend money. You can spend gems to buy gold. I don't recommend doing this. You can buy stamina, you can buy tickets. So the PvP shop, they need to reorganize this. But this is basically where you can exchange a lot of your currency from Rite of Blood for these books for EX Evolution. You can also get a Belphegor, you can get a Rider summon orb here. You can get any one of those 4. This is also where you can exchange your medals from regular arena for some of these Awakers or one of these 2 Riders if you want to do that. You can also get a random Awaker, but the best stuff in here, in my opinion, if you're not building any of those characters, is this stuff right here. You can just get like a bunch of free trainers, or soul gems, or bronze knights if you're working on consonants. Let's see, the guild points. This is where you can exchange your points from your guild that you get every day. You can get random pieces of star shards. This is basically a gacha within a gacha. You can also get things like soul mirrors for some of the base Awakers. You can also get stamina. This is one of the best pickups in the shop, as well as the soul essence. And then Vortex of Torment has probably the best rewards out of all the shops, but it's also super limited because Vortex doesn't really come around a whole lot. There's some blood packs in here, some of the lower rarity ones, some fragments for books. You can pick up this Inherit Gem Selector. This is probably my favorite thing to go for. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up 2 of those right now because I don't think I need anything else at the moment. So I'm going to pick these 2 up. Yeah. Alright, and then you got some books here. So what's cool about the EX books is they count as a physical dupe of any character for the specific book. So like this Grimoire of Sin EX, like let's say you had OG Lucy and you needed one more physical copy of her, but the banner's gone. You can save up for this book and boom, you essentially have a physical copy. And then they have regular grimoires in here as well. Fun fact about the Grimoire of Rider: if you are working on super evolution for a character, you can buy the Riders and then dismantle the books and get an entire bat piece, which is very important. So I think, yeah, so in the Soul Altar, there's fragments of bats, and these items are used for super evolution for characters. Right, so let me see if I can find a character that needs bats. Okay, yeah, these bats right here. These are typically really expensive to get, but you can trade an entire book for a bat if you're into that. Okay, and then let's see, I think we did everything out of the grocery store. Took care of the premium shop. The exchange booth is just where you go to exchange your event items. Also, if you've been summoning a bunch, you can exchange the currency you get from summoning here. And there's always coins, soul essence, mirrors. A lot of times there's going to be dupes of a character you can get, like over here, by exchanging the banner currency for that. And then Soul Altar. This is basically where you exchange your premium currency. And by premium, I don't mean paid. Like, this is like the exchange shop for the most important currency in the game, is essentially what I'm saying. Except for this one. I don't understand this one. So sometimes you get these tickets, but they're very, very rare, to the point where this tab isn't even needed. They could just give us a random shard instead of a ticket. Like, this is pointless to me. That needs to be taken out. And then summoning orbs. So when you unsummon a 5-star character, you get these purple, these prime mana crystals. And depending on the class of the character you unsummon, you get more or less. And you can exchange those for books, for Bunrays, for characters. You can exchange them for, you know, like a bunch of this, like summoning stuff. The yellow ones you get from unsummoning 4-star characters. Let's see. And then these Transcender Gremlins you get from daily quests. One of the daily quests give you these, and you use these to make your character go past like their level. Like it limit breaks their level, I guess, is how I should phrase that. Let's see. This is where you exchange all your fragments of things. Holy Blood. That's the shop. So down here at the bottom, we've got Guild, we've got Relics. So these are your 3 main pieces of equipment for characters. In Star Shards, this will just kind of show you, you can sort it by piece, you can sort it by stats that you want on there, you can sort it by set, like if you just want to look at all your Nightshade pieces. Soul Mirrors. Typically I don't like to go into this menu except to dismantle. I usually go to the specific character and upgrade Soul Mirrors that way. Blood Pact. You can upgrade all your blood packs here. You can check their stats. Let's see, Cast. That's probably the biggest menu. Then Arena, I showed you guys. Campaign. Let's go back to Cast later. Let's take care of Campaign now. So main story, self-explanatory. You know, you can go through all the chapters here. Daily dungeons. This is where all your dailies are. You got the trainer gym, where you get your trainers. Treasure Pass gets you gold. Rank Up Abyss gets you whatever this stuff is, evolution gems. And then Transcend Corridor gets you these guys, the Transcender Gremlins, which you exchange in the shop for actual things to limit break your characters. I'm gonna have another guide video that kind of breaks down each of the daily dungeons and which characters are best, because each dungeon has a specific gimmick that you might need to swap your team up for. I don't want to include that here because that might get a little too long. Railway to Hell is also going to be its own video. This was a pain. Like floor 5 was an absolute nightmare. This is end game content in my mind. Kizuna quests. These are super important for increasing the karma of your cast, which is good. Karma good. Do Kizuna quest, karma good. Limited events. You see all the events here. This is where all your weekly events are going to be. Alright, so cast menu. This, you just kind of see where everybody's at, your cast. You can scroll through all your characters and look at their stats. The Soulpedia is kind of where you go to look at your collection, see what characters you're missing, and also always pay attention to the bottom here. When this is glowing like rainbow, this arrow that's pointing up, tap that and all your characters will get a boost in all their stats. Transcend. So this is where you go. You can take your minions, you can take the Transcend Gremlins, and you basically limit break your cast. Like you push past their maximum level. You see right here, my Gabby's max level is 88. If I keep feeding her minions, eventually she'll get up to 90. Alright, and skill up. I don't have any casts that can be skilled up right now, but basically this is where you go to merge your dupes. So that you can get, you know, like all these things down here. See how it says skill plus 15, you can do skill ups and eventually soul mirrors for that. Let's see, consonants. This is kind of like a late game thing to me too. This might be its own separate video explaining this. But just real quick, first you need to have the character, and then you need to power up characters to power up the other character. It's a little confusing, but essentially these numbers, these points under each character is reflected by your soul pedia. Right here you can hit the show soul link stats, see how each character has a number. The number goes up based on how invested you are into that character, as far as skill ups, as far as level ups, transcend, that kind of thing. And that affects the characters that are required for another character's consonants. Let me just claim this. I'll claim those later. And then I think I touched on this already, but I had someone ask me a specific question. It's like, how do you farm skill ups? Well, skill ups are kind of something that you acquire over time. There's not really a stage to farm those at. Basically just keep doing your arena, keep doing the Grand Coliseum, keep getting your Holy Blood, and then take that over here into the Soul Altar, and you can exchange for essentially skill ups here. So like you can get bone rays for characters, you can get books, fragments of books, and then also unsummoning characters, you know, whatever 5 stars you're not using, maybe you already have some that are super invested that you don't need, you can let them go, and then you can come here and exchange, then get skill ups. One of my favorite things to get is the inherit gems. The reason these are good is, let's say you're on a banner and you want one character but not the other, but you only pull one copy of the character you want and like 4 copies of the character you don't want. Well, what you do is you skill up the character you don't want, and then you use the inherit gems to move those skill ups to the character you do want. So that's another way to get skill ups. Yeah, basically just summon, collect Holy Blood, unsummon. That's pretty much the only way to get skill ups. Sometimes there's an event. You can go into the exchange booth. There's not one here right now. Well, I guess there is. I guess this counts, right? This fragments right here. If you grind out the event, you can collect fragments and then use those fragments to exchange for a book and use that book for a skill up. But yeah, that's how you get skill ups. Let's see. I don't think I missed anything. I think that's pretty much everything there is that I can think of. But if you have any specific questions, you know, if you have something you're wondering about that maybe I didn't cover in this, you have an item that you don't know where it goes, you know, no question is a dumb question. Just let me know. Comment, always respond best I can. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.